Welcome to the Women's Motorsports Network podcast, the show that puts the spotlight on the incredible women who fuel the world of motorsports. From drivers to crew members, engineers to fans, and everyone in between, we're here to celebrate the trailblazers, dreamers, and doers shaping the sport we love. Each episode, we share inspiring stories of females of all ages from every corner of the motorsports universe, past, present, and future. It's a journey through the seasons of life filled with heartfelt moments, laughter, and a whole lot of horsepower. So, whether you're a lifelong fan, a racer yourself, or simply curious about the extraordinary women behind the wheel, settle in, relax, and enjoy a fun and uplifting ride with us. This is the Women's Motorsports Network podcast, connecting and celebrating women in motorsports, one story at a time. Let's hit the track.
Hello, everyone. This is Melinda Russell with the Women's Motorsports Network podcast. And I have a couple of guests today. One is probably going to look familiar to you. Ronnie Johnson was on not that long ago, and we recently released her story through our podcast. And then we decided, why didn't we have your sister on? We kind of messed that up, didn't we, Ronnie? And so we decided we would do this today, and we're going to interview her sister, Jenna. And Ronnie is here for moral support. So, Jenna, that's good to know that your sister's sitting right there beside you. And so why don't you start, Jenna, by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Okay. So I'm Jenna, Ronnie Johnson's older sister, and I have been homeschooled since 4th grade. So a lot of people don't know that about me. And I am 27 years old. Well, 26 years old. I'll be 27 this August. November, my goodness. Anyway, I also have a toddler that's 4. I deal with him on a daily basis. I'm a daily mom. But I also work for my dad at home or from home. And I do a lot of different hobbies and stuff, but racing is like the best and most favorite one or whatever.
Okay.
But
what other kind of hobbies do you like?
I do a little bit of like crafting and painting and stuff for fans and friends and family, and just a little thing, not much. But
I'm a crafter as well. And I'm more of a paper crafter. Like I used to be a huge scrapbooker, and then I got a Cricut. Do you know what a Cricut machine is?
I do.
So I got a Cricut, and so I do all kinds of fun things like make signs and canvases with like little sayings on it and keychains and journals and you name it. I love crafting, but it's mostly paper crafting. I'm not a painter. No. That would be bad. It would be like abstract. So we're not going to go down that road. My mother was a fabulous painter. At the age of 50, she found out that she had a talent for painting.
Right.
And I have some beautiful paintings that she's done. So you just never know what your talent's going to be. Sometimes it'll just pop up out of nowhere. But we have to have those releases, don't we, to just have some fun and some downtime and I always look at my crafting as kind of a no thinking time when I can just relax and not have to really think about anything.
Right.
Yeah, I love that part. So you love motorsports. How did you get started? What made you fall in love with motorsports?
Well, I've been around it like all my life. Like you can even go back to my dad was hauling my mom to all of his races. It started with him, and she was pregnant with me, and we was still going to the race. So I've been around it, but I've been involved and enjoyed going to watch him race ever since I was like, I want to say 2 or 3 years old. Mom's took me to the track. I mean, and just about every time that he won, I got to ride on the back of that race car, and that was like the best moment ever.
Yeah, for sure.
It started with him, and then one day he just come home and he said, hey, well, this was after my sister had started racing. He had came home with a trailer with a race car on it. And I'm like, what is that for? He said, oh, it's mine. You know, he went on about it. He said, oh, it's mine. I'm like, oh, okay. And then he turns around. He said, no, baby, I got it for you. Would you like to do it with your sister? And I said, yes, I'd love to.
Oh, how fun is that?
So I kind of just got started then. That was in about May of 2023 is when I started, like a
Okay.
year after she had been racing. Or close
And
to
what
it.
kind of car is it?
It's Crown Vic, like hers.
Mm-hmm.
But I wrecked that one back, 2 years ago now?
Yeah.
In December. So I totaled that one. It's no longer with me. But we went and got me a new one. It's a 2011 Crown Vic. I still race in the Crown Vic Junior class, and we repainted it. It's purple and silver with the number 98 on it. So
Okay. So are Crown Vics hard to find or easy to find? Because, you know, we never really heard about the Crown Vic classes until the last few years. And then it seems to me like, is there just an abundance of those kind of cars? Or what is it about the Crown Vic that makes it a special car to race?
Well, there used to be a bunch of them, like you would have no problems with it. But now that more and more people have heard about us and are wanting to get into the sport, they're a little bit harder to come by.
It's hard to find one that nobody's driving.
Yeah.
Like on an actual highway.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Because they're a sturdy car and they last a long time.
They really do.
And I think when somebody has one, it's because they love those cars. And so they are not willing to just give them up easily. And so that's why they're hard to find. But they make a great race car, don't they?
Oh, yeah. They hold up great.
They're fun.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So how did you pick your number?
So 98 was the year I was born.
Okay.
And so I chose that number. And of course, my sister here, hers is number 85. That's for her birthday, 85.
Yeah.
And we had just chose our numbers like that. And then a couple of weeks after that, Dad calls us up and he says, hey, he says, why don't you check this out? Or have y'all noticed this? And we got to thinking about it. But, you know, his number that he used to race was 13. So when you subtract 85 from 98,
it's 13. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Well, it was meant to be.
Whoa.
It was meant to be. Yeah, for sure. That's interesting, for sure. So tell me, where do you go to race? What's your favorite track?
My favorite track was Cochran, and they shut it down, but they're trying to reopen it now. But Cochran and Dublin are, I would say, by far my first favorite here close by. But the first time that I raced on East Alabama, I love that track too.
It's fast.
It's fast.
So are these tracks, you live in Alabama?
No, we live in Georgia.
Yeah. Okay. So I wanted you to make that clear, because when you said close to me,
oh, well,
then where are those tracks? And are they in Georgia or Alabama?
Cochran and Dublin are in Georgia.
Okay.
And then Alabama's just East Alabama. Yeah.
Right. So you must not be far from Alabama.
All the tracks that we go to is at least an hour away. And some of them, like Alltech in Florida and Alabama, is about 4 hours away.
Okay. Yeah. So they're not just around the corner.
No.
No, you have to really want to go, and you have to really want to race in order to get everything in the hauler and on the trailer or whatever you're taking your car in, and drive at least an hour, if not more, to race. Yeah. I mean, that is kind of the norm for a lot of people that race. They drive at least an hour, if not more. I always tell people I'm spoiled because I've got racetracks within 30 minutes of me, like 3 different directions. And if you drew a circle around Kalamazoo, Michigan, and you 2 hours in any direction, there's all kinds of tracks. So I'm really spoiled. Whereas I'm always amazed sometimes at how far people drive every weekend to race. And that tells a lot about their passion for sure. Yeah. So do you have any marketing partners, people that help you, or is this kind of, you're doing it on your own?
Well, we have marketing partners, don't we?
Sponsors?
Sponsors, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say, yeah, we
Me-
have some.
Our biggest one is the Johnson Racing. It's all of us.
Yeah.
And we have a little bit of sponsors. We're still hoping for some more.
Yeah.
We got some of our race buddies over there that we race with. Some of them sponsor us and they help us out sometimes.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
usually it's just us, Johnson
Us.
Racing.
Johnson
Yeah.
Racing.
Yeah. I mean, that's what that's normal too. So many of us don't have a lot of sponsorship, but we find a way to do it, don't we? We just don't give up on it. So, Jenna, is this something that you think you're going to want to do for a while, a long time, like 5 years from now? Are you still going to be racing?
Oh, I'd love to.
Yeah.
I plan to. So yeah.
Yeah.
As long as I am able, I will race.
And does your little boy like going to the racetrack?
He does. He loves it.
I bet he
enjoys
does.
it.
He's all into it.
Go, Mama, go. Go,
Little
Mama,
boy,
go.
yeah, little boys kind of have that ingrained in them, don't they? The whole
They
car
do.
and dirt and all that kind
Let
of
it go
stuff.
fast.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. So when you are getting ready to go to the track, what are you looking forward to the most on race day?
Winning.
Winning. Yeah.
I mean,
Well, what if that doesn't happen? What else do you like about going to the racetrack? Everybody likes to win.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
Yeah. And
Just
what do you enjoy about it?
every bit of I love the adrenaline rush of it, but I enjoy it because it's just taking time for me,
Mhm.
and I have fun and I love to do it. Whether I win or not, I just enjoy doing it. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of family time and
it
friends
is
time.
family and fan times for
Making
sure.
new friends.
Yeah.
Making new ones.
Yeah. Now, what did you tell me? Where do you normally race? Do you have a track that you normally go to?
Swainsboro.
Well, we normally go to Swainsboro or
Yeah.
Dublin because those are
Okay.
the closest.
Yeah. Okay. So you make friends there that turn into family.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Race people is just a different type of people.
They really are. What is it about race people that makes them different?
It's just we all have respect for each other and we all care about each other, and it's just a whole big family reunion every race.
Yeah.
Sometimes you meet new people that you've never known about, and then boom, y'all know so much about each other.
Yeah. And it seems like, to me, it seems like when you get to know people in your race family, you feel a camaraderie with them, and you feel like, sometimes maybe you're able to share a little bit more about your life, what's going on, good, bad, or ugly, because you know that they have a lot of the same things going on, right?
Right.
Struggles to pay for tires. You drive an hour or two to get to the track. All the things, you guys have so much in common that it makes it easier just to share, even about, oh, I'm having trouble with this, or I need that, or whatever. And so I think that's what helps make us a better family and better friends, is that we share a lot of the same issues.
We do.
Yeah. So Jenna, is motorsports a good sport for girls to be involved in?
I think so. I honestly think if any young lady decides that, hey, she wants to give that a try, I'd say go for it. It's really fun, and if you're ever like stressed and overwhelmed sometimes, and you just want to like take your anger out, but you don't want to like just knock a hole in the wall or something, it helps with that.
Yeah,
for sure. For me, I just get in there and I'm like, okay, all my anger and frustration, I'm behind the wheel. Let's get it. Let's get it out of your system. Just wow.
and it's not that you're out there to try to hit somebody or wreck or anything. It's just
Right.
the adrenaline kind of takes all of that right out of your body.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
It brings out the tension for sure.
Yeah. So you've been in motorsports a couple years now. Have you noticed any changes in yourself that would be maybe due to being involved in motorsports?
For me, I have noticed a little bit of a change. I would say the biggest part was being able to like open up and talk to somebody. I am not a very sociable person. I am not the social butterfly of the family. This one is. But the racing has helped with that. You gotta learn to talk to people, and if you want to make new friends, you gotta go up to them and you gotta do it. But it's
Yeah.
actually helped open that part up of me a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
It's amazing. I hear that quite often from girls, is that they're shy, but when they start racing, it really changes their personality a little bit.
it does.
Yeah.
It kind of, I don't know what it does to you, but it just kind of cracks that open. You're like, okay, well, hey, let's go talk to this person. Wonder if they're doing the same thing I'm doing. Wonder if they got some of the same things going on that I got going on, or just
it goes back to that what we just talked about, that you guys have a lot of the same problems, a lot of the same good things happening. A lot of your lives have a lot of parallels, and so it makes it easier to talk to somebody when you already know something about them before you ever know their name, and that is that they love racing. So you've already got something in common with them, for sure. Yeah. What's your favorite memory of being involved in motorsports? And this could be as a driver, or any time that you've been to the track, you saw your dad win, you said riding on the back of that car. What are some other good memories that you have?
Well, one of them would be my first race at Needmore Speedway. That was in my old car. I hadn't went there, and I didn't even get to complete the race because during qualifying, I got my first 2 black flags, which was new for me, but it was my fault. I mean, it is what it is. And then during the feature, I did not get to finish it because I went to make a turn and wound up on top of a skidder tire. And I sat there for the rest of the race, and I was just like, like, why? Why me?
That is so funny.
Because I was like, I got mad at myself because I couldn't get off the tire. Like, I was still going to go, but I was just stuck there.
Yeah.
The frame had bottomed out on top of the tire.
That is too funny.
So I was just sitting there like, playing some Dukes of Hazzard moves or something, just sitting there watching the race go by me, and I'm like,
You couldn't do that again if you tried.
No. Couldn't. Don't
No,
know how I got up
funny.
there. I just went in for a turn, and next thing I know,
That's so funny. But isn't, those are that's what makes racing so fun and special, is that those crazy moments that you could never duplicate if you tried. And at the time it was frustrating, and you look back now and you laugh about it because,
I do.
It had to be funny at the time.
It was.
I'm surprised they didn't stop the race and move you.
Nope.
She was out of the way.
I was out of the way. Wasn't nobody going to get me.
Okay. You were out of the way, so nobody was going to get hurt, for sure.
Yeah, I was like on top of the tire. Like,
okay.
Of the tire, but I was on top of it.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So you have a little boy. I'm assuming you said you work for your dad, even though you work from home. That's sometimes 24/7 when you're working from home.
It is.
And you race and you craft. So how do you take care of Jenna? What do you do to make sure that Jenna gets enough sleep and she's eating right and she has balance in her life?
I'm still working on that, but racing does help with that as well.
Yeah.
It helps me, get to be me, rather than mama. that's like my weekend to enjoy myself.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And everybody needs a break.
Everybody needs a break. That's right.
We love our kids. That's an understatement, but we need a break sometimes.
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because then when we come back to them, we love them all the more.
I do.
Yeah. And what's your little boy's name?
His name's Benjamin, but
Oh.
everybody calls him Ben, and that's what he'll tell you too. He'll say, "My name's not Benjamin. I'm Ben."
So I'm gonna share something really special with you, Jenna. I had 3 daughters and a son. His name was Benjamin. He went by Benji, Benjy, for the longest time. And even as an adult, a lot of people that knew him from when he was young called him Benji.
Mm-hmm.
He changed it to Ben because he thought, he needed to have a grown-up name. So
Yeah.
he was Ben. He was the one that from the age of 4 years old loved racing, and we'd go to the racetrack to watch our friends, and he would sit on the front row and never move and just loved racing. And to shorten the story, he played baseball and golf and got away from racing, but he always had that deep in his heart. And he went through a lot of rough years in and out of prison for a lot of different things, and broke his mama's heart many times over. But he still always had that love of racing, and he got back into racing, and that's how his whole family got back into racing, was because of him. And in 2018, he passed away. And so his love of racing touched so many people in our family. My granddaughters, they both raced up until just this last year. And then it just made it so hard to go to the racetrack and easy to go to the racetrack. I can remember when my one granddaughter started racing street stock, or maybe it wasn't even street stock, whatever. But I remember sitting in my usual spot, and her car came around turn 3, and I just would have sworn it was him. Looked like his car, looked like the path he drove. And so when I hear that name, because you don't hear that name very often.
Right, you don't.
That's an old-fashioned name. And my kids, their names all start with B. My last name at the time was Beeler, my first husband. So I had Brandy, Benjamin, Brittany, and Brienne. And so that, I had Brandy, so we had we wanted a B name, and it was Benjamin. And so when I hear that name, Jenna, I'm sorry that I'm taking up your time with this, but it's a special name for me when I hear that. So you love that little guy every day that you can. Yeah. Yeah. That's means a lot to me.
I would say he might get on my nerves, but I love him.
I know. And my hair's turned white only in the front, though. Isn't that the funniest thing? But so I call this my Ben hair, because he gave me gray hairs when I was 30. He was, he just knew how to push my buttons.
Oh, yeah.
And I always said God knew what he was doing when he gave me 3 daughters and only 1 son. I grew up with 2 sisters. They were both quite a bit older than me, but he just knew how to push my buttons. And I just, I think of I have a lot of fond memories and some not so fond, but that name, just brought back a whole wave of things this morning. So sorry about that. I had to take some time to share that with you. So when you're out on the racetrack and you're sitting on top of that tire, or something else goes wrong and it's not the best day in the world, Do you ever think I'm done? I'm going to quit. I can't do this. Or does that ever cross your mind? Or you're like, nope, nothing would stop you from going to the racetrack.
Me, most of the time, if I get frustrated, I'm not like, I'm just going to quit. I'm tired of this. You know, I ain't going to do it no more. I'm more of like, well, there that is. But I'll be back next weekend.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love your giggles because I can tell how much you love it. And it's so fun for you, isn't it?
It is. It's very fun for me.
Even the bad days are fun.
It is. Like that day was a bad day to start off with, but after it went down and they got me off the skidder tire and, you know, brought me to the pits or whatever, I'm just like, I can't believe I just done that.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how I done that, but I done it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm so mad at myself because I couldn't finish. I wanted to keep going.
That's too funny. So, Jenna, do you work on your own car or does your dad do that? Or like when something bad goes, you know, do you help a lot with it or you're busy? I know. So what happens when the car needs worked on? Who does that?
So some of let's say, well, my dad works on it and my man works on it and one of our family friends named Jeffrey, he works on it, and Lance works on it. They kind of all work together.
Okay.
But anytime that I am not busy doing something, like with Ben or whatever, most of the time I will go over there and I will lend a hand in whatever part they need. So
most of the time,
because you try to learn about your car.
I do.
You know? Yeah.
We have to. I mean, what if we're just there by ourselves?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So when the weekend's coming up, you know you're going to go racing. You wake up on race day. What's that look like? What do you do on race day? What's your routine? Do you have any superstitions? Do you wear the same shirt, hair bow, whatever? What's race day look like?
Well, for race day for me, if Ben comes along with me, we get his stuff ready, and then Mama gets herself ready, and then she gets all of her stuff that she needs, like my suit, I need my helmet, all my gear, all of that I have to get together, and I usually try to get it together by like 2:30, 3, depending on the race, when the race starts or when the gates open, and then we'll have to load my car on the trailer, strap down, make sure we got my receiver, we make sure we got everything.
Mm-hmm.
And we load it all up in the truck, and I might take maybe an hour breather, and then we load up and it's time to go. So
yeah. Do you eat the same things on race day or you don't have any routine? You just do whatever. Like some people are like, I always have to go through Taco Bell on race day or whatever it is.
Ooh.
I couldn't do Taco Bell. No.
No, not Taco Bell. That was a bad example. Maybe McDonald's.
Okay, well,
get a Happy Meal.
There you go.
No, we kind of just like snack lightly. We don't really eat a whole lot because it's like as soon as you eat a whole meal, if you even get to finish it, it's time to get ready and suit it up and back in the car. So
yeah. Do you listen to any kind of special music or anything like on the way to the track or through your headphones or anything to get you pumped up for racing?
I don't know about her, but I don't.
No.
I like to listen to any kind of music, really.
Okay.
I love music, so
yeah.
Listen about any of it.
Okay. All right. So how do you use social media? Are you on Facebook, Instagram? Where would we find Jenna Johnson and how would we follow and kind of keep track of what you're doing?
I do have a Facebook.
Okay.
And I do have an Instagram.
Okay.
As well as Snapchat.
Okay. And is it just under your name, Jenna?
Facebook is Jenna Johnson. That's
Uh-huh.
under my name. And then Instagram is under is it Jenna J? It's some nickname. I don't forget.
But we could find you on Facebook for sure.
Yeah, Facebook
And Johnson Racing. We have Johnson.
Yeah, we
Racing
do
on
have a
Facebook.
Johnson Racing Facebook page as well.
Okay.
All
All right.
Both of us.
Yeah, that'd be the easiest way to keep track. Because don't you both race at the same track at the same time? You know, you go at this. You're always there together.
Pretty much. Yes,
Pretty
ma'am.
much. Do you
Mhm.
race against each other?
Always.
Who wins more often than not? Connie, she's your older sister.
I don't mean anything.
Come on.
When the,
Do you
when the lights are green,
You don't wreck each other, right?
Mm,
Oh, no.
You know, I have to do something.
No, you don't. It's your sister.
I don't do it on purpose.
Oh, she says that now.
Yeah, that's what she
Yeah,
says.
she says that now. That's her story, and she's sticking to it.
Okay, we go on the track not intentionally wanting to go after one another because we are a team. But
it always ends up.
Okay. It's just like NASCAR. It's just like NASCAR. They're teammates until it's the final lap and they're running 1 and 2, and then it's every man for himself.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you do it. Okay, well, that's all right then. I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Like I said, we do have competition between us.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
But that's fun.
at the end of the day, we still love one another.
Of course. And it just makes it a little more fun, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah. Oh,
Like
you
it.
girls are so cute.
When we raced East Alabama, we was literally side by side and got like literally sandwiched together.
And I just looked at her. I said, "Really, really?
I think it wasn't me.
Why?"
But I looked at her too, and I'm like, "Really?"
The
Yeah.
Johnson sisters are in a combine.
Yeah.
The thing is both of us was trying to dodge one another and go around the ruckus that went on around us.
Uh-huh.
It didn't work. She got shoved in by the lower car, and I
And
got
here
shoved
comes
in
her
on the
behind
high
me.
car.
That happens. That happens. You know what they say? That's racing.
Stuck like
That's
Chuck.
racing.
We couldn't move neither.
That's so funny. You girls are so cute. When does your racing start? Have you already started for the year?
We have started. I have started.
Yeah, not me. This will be my first startup for this year. So.
Okay. Because, in Michigan, well, now, I shouldn't say that. Today it's going to be 70 degrees in Michigan. So I've been so sick with this upper respiratory thing. I think I'm just going to open every window and try to get all the germs out because it's been so cold here. But then, of course, next week it's going to be cold and rain and snow and whatever. But yeah, we don't start till end of April, end of April, May, depending on the weather. So I got another month or so before I can go to the racetrack. But well, girls, this has been a pleasure. Good luck to you this season in your racing. I hope you don't wreck each other. I hope you both win. And that most of all, I hope you have a lot of fun.
We do every time.
I know you do. I can tell. Yeah. Is there anything that I haven't talked to you about that you'd like to share? Anything at all we haven't covered?
Yeah.
No? Okay. Well, you hang on. We're going to end the recording and good luck to you both.
Thank
you.
That's it for this episode of the Women's Motorsports Network podcast. We hope you've been inspired by the stories I shared today and feel more connected to the amazing community of women in motorsports. Remember, whether you're behind the wheel, in the pits, or cheering from the stands, your story matters. And together, we're driving change and celebrating every milestone. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe, leave us a review, and share it with someone who loves motorsports as much as you do. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram for updates, behind-the-scenes content, and more incredible stories. So until next time, stay inspired, stay connected, and keep racing through life. This is the Women's Motorsports Network podcast, where every woman's story is worth celebrating.